Namaste, everyone. ChristianRLong, life enhancement consultant, wishing you a big and beautiful, I was about to say Wednesday. I don't know what's going on lately with my days. Tuesday evening here in Denver, Colorado. It is about 7:48 p.m. Just finished my last healing client of the day, but my body hasn't had dinner. My body hasn't taken a salt bath. Still working. Dean, Namaste. Welcome, my fellow Arhatic Yoga brethren. Jolie, Namaste. Good to have you on the live stream, girl. Usually catching you late. It's been a full day. It's been really, really good. Really good. Had time to do my Arhatic Yoga practice, which I have had the honor and privilege of practicing for 15 years now. Actually, no, wait. It'll be 15 years in this July. And it's great to see my own personal growth and development and to see my own weird squirrely things get stirred up over the years of doing this practice. Keep in mind, spiritual energy is a fertilizer for what's deep inside of you. So it either grows the grass faster, which are the virtues, or it'll grow the weeds faster, which are the vices. So, Henry, Namaste. Good to have you on. You've been a regular viewer this past week. I love it. I love it. So, as you guys know, we do these streams each and every day for the year of 2019. I'm not saying I'm going to do these streams every single day for the year 2020 or 2020, as we remember that show from ABC back in the Dizzy. But for this year, definitely going to do a live stream, even if it's 5 minutes every single day on energy healing, meditation, or practical spirituality. Some nugget of wisdom, some nugget of truth, not from me, but my teacher, Grandmaster Cho Koksui, who taught me pretty much everything I know about, life, about energy, about meditation, about becoming a better person. And I do the very best that I know how to do to move my life forward and the lives forward of my clients, co-disciples, strangers I run into at the grocery store, at the Starbucks. And believe me, I make plenty of mistakes along the way. In fact, actually a mistake just came, Cassandra, Namaste. In fact, this mistake just came into my awareness about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours ago, that I'm again shaking my head going, not again, but I've noticed I learn best. What's the old saying? A wise man learns from his mistakes, and an even wiser man learns from the mistakes of another. So I'm trying to do the learning from the mistakes of other people versus me having to suffer, go through the pain, go through the anguish, and go, oh, I could have just modeled the 1,000 people that went before me who already know what that trail looks like. So what's the quote? What's the quote today that could possibly change how you live your life? What's the quote? Because I thought about it from the experience that just happened 2 hours ago. I thought, all right, what's a quote that would embody this lesson? What's a quote that would embody this pain that can possibly be used to benefit and help other people, right? Instead of you guys having to go through it, you can learn from the experience, the pain, the sorrow, and suffering of other people. And I think that actually there's a big reason as to why chicken noodle soup for the soul. Wallace, Janine, Namaste. I always catch it with the Wallace. I think that's a big reason as why Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul has sold as a series of books, has sold over 100 million copies. Because every single chapter is a story from an ordinary, everyday, regular person that we can project ourselves into that position and go, that's really good. If I was in that position, I don't know if I would have done that. That's really admirable. That's really powerful. That's a nugget of truth or a nugget of wisdom I can extrapolate from that story about another person and apply it into my own life. Jeanette, Namaste. So I try to do that with you guys. Is I try to pull from my own life experience, the life experience of my client, obviously not mentioning names, keeping anonymity properly, but here's the quote. And let me know if this resonates with you. Let me know if you get some nugget of wisdom or truth out of this. So one of the quotes by Grandmaster Cho Koksui, also known as a sutra, and a sutra basically means to stitch, and when you relate it to spiritual teachings, it's stitching together your understanding. It's making your viewpoint more holistic, right? So sutras are very, very powerful. Mark, Namaste. Are you in Kissimmee? Are you busting it out in Florida? Are you leaving next week? I forget when you were actually doing your... you're in good old Disney. I used to live like 8 minutes from Disney World, back in the Disney. Laura, Namaste. Good to have you on. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, you guys ready for the quote? So this is a sutra, and a sutra means you can study it also very, very deeply, right? You're like, oh, that's the surface level understanding, but there are other levels of truth and other levels of understanding that are more powerful and more comprehensive. So the quote from Grandmaster Chola Koksui is, and you might even want to write it down, or you can rewatch the video and memorize it that way, is whatever you waste will be taken from you. Whatever you waste will be taken from you. And you're like, well, what does that quote mean? What is that sutra all about? Let's relate it to something very, very simple. Add me into video. Oh, yeah. Hold on, guys. Let's see if we can add Mark. He's at wherever he's at. Can I do it? Yes? No? It's not allowing me to do it, man. I'm trying to add you. Weird. I think I was able to do it at one point in time. Sorry, Mark. Can't figure out how to add you in, even though I'm hitting the icon that says add you in. Anyways, so Dean goes, oh my God, how true. Again, these are not my teachings. This is not my quote. This is not my sutra. This is Master Chola Koksui's. So if you relate it to money, and instead of earning money and you put that money aside into a savings account, into an investment account, into buying an asset like real estate or something like that, and you take your money and you just throw it. You waste it on partying, you waste it on drinking, you waste it on drugs, you waste it on frivolous things, right? You don't have an appreciation, understanding, and respect for the energy of money. You just waste it. So in order to balance the energies out within your life, you have to go for a period of time with not receiving money or not receiving as much money, because nature is all about balancing, right? Yin and yang. We're always seeking balance. We're always seeking equilibrium. And that's kind of part of how we get out of the cycle of birth and death. We live enough times, we die enough times, we learn the lessons, we become a better person, we become self and soul realized, and then we're out of the wheel of birth and death, right? So it's the same thing with this. Pisces, giving a shout out. Stacy, Atma Namaste, my sister, my fellow Arhatic Yogini sister. Whatever you waste will be taken from you. Aw, thanks, Laura, for putting that up there. Appreciate that. Pisces. Pisces is a water sign. And it's interesting because a strong, positive Pisces, they're super giving and super loving emotionally. But a Pisces that is not mature yet, that has not developed into that sign very well, they tend to be very cold and withdrawn emotionally. So it seems like our girl Laura is a positive one. Totally resonates. Julie says totally. Hannah, Appa Namaste. A lot of Australian brothers and sisters jumping on. I love it. So you can relate that not just to money, not just to the physical world or the physical plane, but you can relate that to the emotional plane. Now, I don't know about you, but this lesson has been, I hope, the blessings of God, the teacher, and the mercy and compassion of the Lords of Karma. Emotionally, if you take that principle, whatever you waste will be taken from you. If you take that on an emotional level, and let's say you've gotten a lot of love, you've gotten a lot of affection, you've gotten a lot of gratitude, respect, trust, joy, and tenderness, right? Beautiful emotional energies. And you've gotten those from the people in your life. And you waste those emotions. What will that therefore mean? that those energies of love, sweetness, tenderness, joy will be withheld or will be limited to a great degree in your life because it's balancing out the energies yet again. So, how many of us have had people in our lives who love us deeply, who care about us deeply, who have provided a tremendous amount of emotional support and value for us deeply, and we kind of push that away? Now, I'm pointing at myself in this equation. I have had people in my life over the past 25 years who have deeply and profoundly loved me and cared for me and nurtured and nourished me. But because of my own lack of awareness, because of my own lack of understanding, because of my own selfishness, because of my own limiting beliefs and fears, I pushed that away. I sabotaged that. I swept it under the rug because it was too much for me to deal with. And now it's a possibility. I hope it's not. I hope the stick from the Lords of Karma will be merciful and compassionate towards me, that there could be a possibility that those energies will be withdrawn, right? So yikes, you're going to get bad energy. I try to find the good in everyone, no matter their level as a person. Oh, that's good. That's a very good quality, a very good trait. I love that. Congrats for figuring that out. So you have that on the emotional level. What about the mental level? What about receiving teachings, spiritual teachings, mental knowledge, a certain skill, a trade, something you've learned in college or in your career, mentorship, counseling, advice, and you just throw that. You discard it. You don't acknowledge it. You're not grateful for it. You're like, yeah, whatever. I've heard that before. Yeah, whatever. I know that, right? Negative pride coming in. What will that mean to balance out the energies? It means at some point in time, when you need mental knowledge to improve the quality of your life, to change your viewpoint, to alleviate your suffering, that will not be there. Now, I'm not saying this is in 100% of all cases, because the law of forgiveness and the law of mercy supersedes the law of karma. You might want to write that down. Again, these are not my teachings. These are Master Choa's teachings. The law of forgiveness and the law of mercy supersedes the law of karma. That's how we're able to evolve. That's how we don't get stuck in one pattern of living for hundreds of lifetimes. Actually, I'm going to say, because of the law of mercy and the law of forgiveness. Laura says, I love to learn. I pack my brain to the max daily. Stuff the brain cells. I myself love to learn as well. Reading books, attending seminars, retreats, workshops, podcasts. I'm all about it. I'm like a little sponge, sucking up as much as I can for the purpose of helping my clients, helping co-disciples, helping my friends, helping family members. You know, it's like you study something, you're like, hey, I remember reading that 10 years ago. Now I know why I remembered it 10 years ago, because I can help this person out in their life right now. How amazing is that, right? So, and then spiritually, what you waste will be taken from you. So by wasting spiritual blessings, by not being grateful for them, by not utilizing them, by not integrating them into your day-to-day life, what happens? Less spiritual blessings will come into your life. Less good fortune, less synchronistic events and beautiful experiences, because of lack of gratitude, lack of appreciation, and the unwillingness to integrate them into your day-to-day life. So Laura says, but we must understand we all have different gifts in our journey. Correct. Some people have the gift of making money. Some people have the gift of giving love. Some people have the gift of being geniuses. Some people have the gift of healing. Other people have the gift of being a mechanic. Other people, there's millions and millions and millions and millions of gifts. And our job in each and every incarnation is to recognize what the gift is. And usually it's super obvious. It's so obvious that we miss it most of the time. And then utilizing that gift, sharing that gift, using that gift to the best of our ability to help other people, to add value into the lives of other people. Like, for instance, my gift is in speaking. My gift is in sharing information and sharing knowledge and making complex things understandable and digestible. That's one of my gifts. So that's why we jump on these live streams each and every day. We come up with a quote, we come up with a topic, and then we just kind of talk extemporaneously about that topic. And I'm not talking out of my butt. I'm experienced in this world. I've been a professional energy healer for 15 years, and I've been a regular meditator for almost 20 years. So I'm talking from a level of expertise, and I try my best to stay within my wheelhouse. I don't start talking about accounting. I don't start talking about astrophysics. I don't start talking about, mergers of companies, because that's not my area of expertise. And so Dean says, I think I have missed my gift. Dean, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Oh no, sharing and speaking might be it after hearing you just say that. Aha! So someone's coming to the realization of what their gift is. So one way of identifying your gift, there are many ways. One way of identifying your gift is talking to people who know you really well, because they are more objective than you are. I will need to explore this further. Thank you, Christian. You're welcome. So ask other people, hey, what am I good at? What do you see about me that I don't see about myself? Right? And it's possible. They could clearly go, hey, you should be a comedian. You should be a performer. You should be personal trainer. You should be in banking. You should be, right? They might see something that you don't, because you're part of yourself all the time. And if something comes easy to you and naturally to you without you having to think about it, you might miss it, right? The other way, or another way of finding out what your ninja power is or what your gift is or your skill set is to scan or feel the energy of each of your chakras when they're clean and healthy, right? So if, for instance, your ajna, this chakra, is really, really big and really developed and really strong in relationship to your other chakras, maybe you should be in management. Maybe you should be leading and guiding other people, the efforts and resources of other people. Let's say you have a really big crown chakra. Maybe you're to be on the spiritual path. Maybe you're to be a spiritual teacher. Maybe you're to go deep into meditation, right? Maybe that's your calling. Or let's say you have a really, really big heart chakra, service to others, love for others, serving others in some way, shape, or form, like a Mother Teresa or a Gandhi, right? So that's one other way to determine where you fit into your purpose. So Laura says, I'm not wasting anything. I walk a bunch and come across so many people that need help. Also helping animals. I'm a healer, especially with animals. Another gift I have is to know if something bad is going to happen and to prevent it. Right, so that would be one of the psychic abilities or siddhis, yogic powers that we can develop on our path, which is actually very interesting, because as we are in greater alignment with our higher selves, in greater alignment with our dharma or our purpose in this lifetime, your abilities will become magnified and accelerated, because the great ones in their infinite wisdom say, this person is in alignment, this person is raising their hand to be an instrument of goodwill and the will to do good, so we are going to empower them with as much energy, blessings, insights, clarity as possible, so they follow through on their dharma in this lifetime. Now, if you notice, everything you do, a door closes, a window closes, opportunities get cut off, you keep hitting and banging your head against the wall, that's usually a very good indicator that you were not in alignment. That's the great ones trying to guide you to a different path. Right? Does that make sense? So Laura says, as a child, I thought that everyone knew what was going to happen next. It almost sounds like a tagline for a Netflix special or Netflix series. Isn't that funny? As a child, or like the tagline when they open up like the trailer. As a child, I thought that everyone knew what was going to happen next, and then they like go into the show. So that's what I want to leave you guys with tonight. Something to meditate on, a quote by Master Choa. Whatever you waste will be taken from you. Physically, emotionally, mentally, and even spiritually. So how do we remedy that? We practice gratitude. We practice appreciation. We practice using those things. I don't know if I should say this or not. No. Okay. So, for another day. So Ashley said, you put yourself on live feed and open yourself on the spot very often. You're not recited. That says a lot about your transparency. Ah. Yeah, it's like, I'll give you guys a funny example about transparency and about going on the fly, about scripted and rehearsed. So I have a general outline in my head because I have clear thinking about what I want to talk about, and I've done enough of these, so I would hope I would be relatively good at speaking extemporaneously. But there's an example of that connected to the feeding program that we do in Denver. So every week in Denver, we feed about 70 people. And we've been doing it mostly for about 5 years, right? Mostly for about 5 years in Denver. A feeding program downtown at the McDonald's in downtown Denver every Sunday. And there's people who would, when we were having meditations, we would do meditations at the downtown YMCA. And then from the meditation, we would all go to the feeding program. Or most of us would go to the feeding program. And sometimes we'd have new people show up at the meditation. And obviously that's a great thing, right? The more people know about Twin Hearts, the more people open their hearts, open their crowns, the world becomes a better place, right? So I'm like, sweet, a new person. And then I would notice this person, or persons, it's happened many, many times. This person would be convinced or persuaded or interested or inspired, Avani, Namaste, to come to the feeding program after the meditation. So as we're walking from the meditation to the feeding program, they would say, well, why are you feeding them McDonald's? Why are you feeding them McDonald's? Can't you feed them healthy vegan or vegetarian sandwiches with healthy chips and healthy drinks or water or something like that? Why are you feeding them McDonald's, right? McDonald's is not healthy. You're supporting a multi-billion-dollar multinational company that just puts poison into the water, poison into people's bodies. Why are you doing that? And I said, Sekita, Namaste. I said, that's an excellent point. That's a very, very good point. Let me ask you something. Are you going to make them sandwiches every single Sunday? Are you going to go out and buy the bread, buy the ingredients, the best of the best organic ingredients? Are you going to buy the bread, buy the organic ingredients, and then make 70 to 80 to 90 to 100 sandwiches for the homeless people, put them in plastic bags, put them in big bags, and then drive them before the meditation, and then help us distribute them out to the park across the street? And the person thought about it, and they said, yeah, I would totally be down for doing that, 100%. In my 5 years, I've actually been doing the feeding program in New York, New Jersey, and Denver. So collectively, I've been doing and Sarasota. I've been collectively doing the feeding program for maybe 12 years, something like that, maybe 12 years. And I noticed something that not in one case of a person agreeing to do that have they actually done it. Not in one case. Not one person In 12 years of being part of feeding programs where we fed thousands and thousands of people, and we've had hundreds of volunteers, people of goodwill and the will to do good, not one person that said, yes, I would feed them, I would make them sandwiches and do that. Not one person has done it. And you know what's even more interesting? Not, to my memory, not one of those people have ever come back. Not one of those people have ever come back to the meditation and or to the feeding program. So Master Choa used to say that the people who talk the loudest tend to do the least. So I thought to myself, what's better? A person eating food, right, that may not be the best food for them, or the promise of that person getting fed? What's better? Them eating not so good food or the promise of the best food? Which one's better? Right? Because legally, most counties around the country, you cannot feed people from food from your kitchen. You cannot feed the public food from your kitchen, even if you're giving it to them. But if you buy it from an establishment, like a McDonald's, like a Wendy's, like a Burger King, you can legally give that food out, and you can consistently do it week after week, month after month, year after year, decade after decade. The feeding program that Master Choa Kuk Sui founded, he founded over 20 years ago, and it's still going today, and there are feeding programs around the world that are still going on, have been going on for 5, 10, 15 or more years because of people willing to be instruments of goodwill and the will to do good. So to go back to what Ashley was saying, hold on everybody. You put yourself on live feed and open yourself up on the spot very often. You're not recited. That says a lot about your transparency. So we could have a very polished, a very perfected feeding program with the highest quality food, highest quality ingredients, highest quality purified water. We could do all those things, but is it sustainable? Does it accomplish the task of helping alleviate the pain, the sorrow, the suffering, and the hunger of our brothers and sisters? Right? So people get so caught up in marketing, they get so caught up in the message, but are the works being done? Are the good works being done? So let me go back a second because you guys are all getting after it. Laura says, I wouldn't mind it at all as long as they eat healthy. That's really awesome. I guess that's the way to do it according to me. What? Smiley face. Oh, you guys are all over the map. They stopped that in the school system years ago. They wanted to show off, but couldn't produce. Yes. Jay, I'm a namaste. But you're not. You're human. Exactly. So you guys see what I'm saying? We get so focused on, we want to save the world, right? I want to do the best of the best of the best of the best. If I'm not going to do it perfectly, I'm not going to do it at all, right? That's a philosophy that certain people take. I do not recommend that. A term I saw a marketer use many, many years ago was called imperfect action. Doing something is better than nothing, right? That's why it's goodwill and the will to do good. Perfection is evil. Yeah, because perfection, nothing moves forward. I have a very, very close family member to me who has had dreams and aspirations of creating this amazing product that's been in his mind for 20 years. He hasn't even created a crappy prototype to introduce and to show to somebody to get feedback, to tweak and correct along the way. So in his mind, it's perfect. In his mind, the world needs it. In his mind, millions of people could use this. In his mind, he's made millions, if not billions of dollars from this perfect product. but it doesn't exist. There's nothing in the marketplace. So he loses out and we lose out. So it's the same thing with this example from the people that say, why do you serve them McDonald's food? Why don't you give them the best of the best organic? Are you going to do it? Yes? Great, I'll see you next week. And then they never show up. So I had to learn this from the Masters in Pranic Healing, that people would attend pranic healing events or Hatha Yoga retreats. They feel super inspired. Their hearts are super open. They have a lot of clarity and insight because they're with the group. They're with the masters or Master Choa. And then they're like, I want to be an instrument of goodwill. I want to help alleviate the pain, the sorrow, and suffering of humanity. I want to step up. What can I do? And they're super excited. Solar plexus. They're super excited. And then they go to the masters and they're like, I want to build a healing clinic. I want to do this. I want to start a meditation group. I want to start I want to do all these things. And I always observe the masters. And they're not too excited. And they're also not going to rain on the person's parade. They go, very good. Excellent. Good luck. Right? Very good. They never, ever, ever rain on anyone's parade. Because talk is cheap. Talk doesn't cost anything. It's when action, it's when action meets up with the person's intention. Another Ashley, 2 Ashleys in the same stream. What is happening tonight? So does this make sense to you guys? Faith without works is dead. So I noticed that with the masters. The more excited somebody is about something, it tends to be a pretty good indicator that they're not going to follow through. It's the people who are humble. It's the people who are quiet. And it's the people who take baby steps consistently and persistently, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. Those are the people that transform the world. Those are the people that are being instruments of goodwill and the will to do good. And it's very, very inspiring because anybody can get excited for a day, a week. Woohoo! I'm going to meditate every day. Yeah! Okay, well, can you do that every day for a year? Can you do that every day for 6 months? Can you do that every day for 3 months? A month? Right? So this is just to give you guys awareness. It's not to pick on you. It's not to poke fun at you. It's not to it's not to pick somebody out of the crowd. It's simply to give you awareness. How am I showing up? Right? How am I showing up? Am I a person of goodwill and the will to do good? Or do I just have good thoughts about the world, but I don't do anything physically to back that up? So Laura says, not always so pleased, don't title them, because there are a bunch of people that do the work and want nothing in return. Yeah, so those people are called karma. From a yogic perspective, those people are called karma yogis. Karma yogis. People who do the best action possible and have no attachment to the fruit. Those people are very powerful people. Karma yogis are very, very powerful people. And anybody can be a karma yogi. You don't have to, be a karma yoga practitioner to be qualified as a karma yogi. Usually successful business people are karma yogis. Their yoga is their work. Their yoga is their business. They develop through working. They develop through service. They develop through action. So usually successful business people are karma yogis. And Laura says, that's me in a nutshell. Very good. I have a friend who's a massage therapist, and she's been a massage therapist for about almost 20 years, and I would consider her a karma yogi. This woman gives and gives and gives and serves and serves and serves and has no attachment to the outcome. Doesn't care. it's quite phenomenal, actually. I haven't met many people like her in my life, but she gives of her money, she gives of her resources, she gives of her time, she gives of her love, whatever, and she seeks nothing in return. It's really admirable, to be honest. So I hope we covered a lot for you guys, because it helps us to function, for sure. Yeah, a karma yogi is built to serve. They would go crazy otherwise. Like, they're like, I can't just sit with my eyes closed and meditate all day long. I got to do something. I got to interact with the world, right? I got to move my physical body. That's kind of a karma yogi. As opposed to like a jnana yogi that knows God not through service and not through acts, but knows God through the mind. That's a jnana yogi. All right, guys, that being said, if you are in need of healing, which we all are in some way, shape, or form, contact me at ChristianRLong.com/services. Experience a pranic healing session distantly. Probably, even if you are an advanced practitioner, it'll be different than other healings you've received. Because I work with a lot of pranic healers and arhatic yogis, as well as non-pranic healers. We bring them from where they are to where they want to be in the fastest time possible. So, again, if you need help, you need healing, go to ChristianRLong.com/services. I look forward to assisting you on your path. Atma Namaste to you too, Ashley. Beautiful soul from afar. Avani, got the new crystal? Just do it. Yeah, exactly. Laura, that's a karma yogi. Just do it. Got the new crystal? No, I've had this crystal for 3 months, 4 months, something like that. I think so. I think 3 months, and probably another year or less. It'll be time for another upgrade. Bigger crystal, more power, faster healings, deeper healings. Yes, the one that I lost that about 6 weeks ago. I was traveling back from New Jersey from one of the Arhatic Yoga retreats, and I looked into my bag, and they left a little note. This bag has been inspected by TSA. I thought, okay, no big deal. Got my clothes, took everything out, thought nothing of it. A week went by, and I was like, wait a minute. Where's my other healing crystal? And then I went into my bag, and it was gone. And I'm like, somebody from TSA went specifically into my bag, searched through the bag, and then removed a healing crystal? Really? Somebody took a healing crystal. Blows my mind. But was meant to be. I hadn't cleaned that crystal in a while. It's done thousands of healings, and it was time. It definitely did its work. It definitely did its work, even though I kept it clean. But that crystal did thousands of healing. I had that crystal for about 3.5 years. Natalia, Atma Namaste, girl. Laura says, did you file a claim with airline? No, I did not file a claim. That's probably a good... I don't even know which airline it is now. United? American? I'm not even sure. Yeah, it is what it is. It's done and over with. Dean's like, somebody else needed it more. Yeah, I obviously didn't need it anymore, for sure. Please do file the report. It would take me more time, and my time is valuable. That's why I like sharing it with you guys. That's why I do it. My time is spent meditating. My time is spent healing. My time is spent teaching. But to spend 2 hours, 2.5 hours trying to figure out what happened and then filing the claim and waiting, it's not worth my time. Probably United. Congratulations for gifting it to someone else. Yay! Somebody else has a healing crystal. Hopefully they know how to use it, which would be ironic. Wouldn't that be weird? Somebody stealing another healer's crystal so they can use that crystal to heal other people? That would be crazy. It'd be very, very weird. Wouldn't make any sense. All right, guys. My body has to take a salt bath to cleanse from the day. Has to eat to replenish the nutrients and hydrate. 5 minutes, type a letter, and you'll receive a check. Ooh. Okay. Wouldn't it be to TSA and not to the airline? Because it said this bag has been checked by TSA. Thanks, Laura. You rock on too, girl. All right, guys. This is ChristianRLong, Life Enhancement Consultant, wishing you a beautiful Tuesday evening, a beautiful week, and a beautiful life. Atma. Namaste. Bye-bye.